starving should actually be the new slogan of the Republican Party.
There's a woman on Twitter who has diabetes and said that she voted for Donald Trump because it would piss off the libs. She is on medication because due to her diabetes, she's having complications with her retina. And now, due to this, she will absolutely lose her vision because she is on Medicaid. There was a Trump supporter who couldn't keep her job and had 2 kids. Now, while she was married, she legally didn't have any paperwork, but being that she came here with her family, she decided that she would vote for Trump because Trump was going to bring God back to America. And while she's going to vote for Trump, she lost her job, she's on SNAPs, she's on Medicaid, Medicare, and didn't realize because she wanted to get rid of all of her family members who were also immigrants, that her voting this way would also affect her life and her SNAPs and her Medicaid and her Medicare. And the fact that she doesn't have a job but she's able-bodied, and being that you're able-bodied and the bill only covers people who are not able-bodied, not disabled, people who are not able-bodied, it seems like a lot of Trump supporters are going to learn something very detrimental with this bill.
June 30th, and it looks like the big, beautiful bill's about to pass the Senate. And listen, MAGA, you guys did it. You got this over the finish line. Congratulations. You guys are 100% the people that we owe all of the credit for what's about to happen in the United States. Now, granted, we're not going to feel the full effect until 2028 because the Republicans, they try to be sneaky, but I don't think it's going to work this time. Because you know what's going to happen this time? After you kick 16 million people off of their health care, they're still going to get sick, and they're still going to go to the doctor, and they're still going to go to the hospital, but they're not going to pay their bills. And then you know what's going to happen? The rural hospitals are going to close, because there's no money to operate said rural hospitals. Now, I don't know if you're on Medicaid, and I don't know if you live in a rural area, but if you do, those are things that might be affected. Your health insurance rates come this January. Oh, I cannot wait to see what those are going to be for us. I pay private insurance, and I know for a goddamn fact that right now, my private insurance company is trying to figure out how they're going to charge me at least triple come January for what's about to happen to our country. So, congrats, Maga, you did it! You fucking did it. You did it. You did it.
Well, you just couldn't call, could you, Magus? You just couldn't help out a few thousand or million people who are going to go hungry and are going to live in the fucking streets. Thanks, Maga. Thanks a whole hell of a lot. Because most of the goddamn people live in your...
So I have a question, MAGA. Trump's big, beautiful bill passed through the Senate, and now it's on its way back to the House to be voted on, which we know it's going to come through because Trump controls the House. This bill is cutting millions from food stamps, Section 8, Medicare, stuff like that. MAGAs, that's mostly y'all. The bill only helps the 1%. MAGA, y'all on food stamps. Y'all on Section 8. Your Aunt Meemaw is collecting Medicaid for her medicine and her doctor visits. And are you proud of yourselves? Like, we're already broke in America because we are not sitting in the 1%. And now he's gonna make us broker, even though y'all swore that he was going to come in and lower the cost of living, and y'all swore that he knew nothing about Project 2025, even though Project 2025 is now 42% complete. I just want to know, like, is it still go Trump while your Memo is off of assistance in the street? Congratulations, though. I mean, if you're proud and if you're happy, congratulations. Way to go. You all are rock stars.
The Republicans are going to have something worse than a resurrection on their hands. Because if you guys think that a bunch of hillbillies and rednecks going to a rally, not prepared to cause an insurrection, and they did that much damage, let me tell you, I grew up in a are people in the town. And let me tell you, are losing their mind. My mom said that her Facebook is full of all the MAGA huge supporters, because that's the area that my mom lives in. She's not one, thank God. Losing their mind, saying you thought the things that they were saying about the Democrats was bad. Oh, prepare. The Republicans have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea about the type of people that they have pulled to their side, because these people will destroy them. They don't care. They don't care. I know a handful of them. They lose their Medicare, Medicaid, whatever it's called, their assistance. They have nothing else. They have nothing else.
Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you, Maga. Thank you, Republicans, for fucking up our country. Yeah, the Senate passed that big, beautiful bill. And so now it goes to the House.
This is a question for Maga, and I'm literally looking for genuine, open dialogue here. I'm not even joking. Is your support of the big, beautiful bill, is it based on the fact that you truly believe that it is going to be beneficial in the long run? That it is going to help the country? I mean, we see a lot of information coming out saying that this is going to increase the deficit substantially. But do you believe that in the short term it's more worth doing this? Or, and again, if this is how you feel, I'm open to hearing it. Are you of the mind that you are willing to see the deficit increase, you're willing to possibly lose your own benefits, because you feel that there are people in this country that don't deserve those benefits, so even if you suffer, you're okay suffering a little bit, so as long as they lose stuff too. Like, genuinely, I want to hear this, because really, everything that I'm hearing and seeing is bad. We have nonpartisan groups that are basically budget watchdogs, Democrats and Republicans in these groups that are saying this is bad news. We have financial experts with decades of experience saying this looks like bad news. But yeah, like, I genuinely want to hear why you think that all of their experience, all of their advice, all of their expertise, it doesn't matter. You think this bill needs to be passed. I just want to hear it. Open to conversation.
Good morning. Maga, I don't have much today. Just a question. Question I want to ask you. Well, really a question I want you to ask yourself. If you would just humor me. Close your eyes. Think about it. Don't respond. Just think about it. What is your first thought when you hear that someone wants to increase the budget, the funding for the U.S. military? What's your first thought? It's patriotic, right? It's great for the United States of America. That's the thought. Now, what's your first thought when you hear that someone wants to increase the budget or funding for healthcare or education in our country? It's socialism, right? That's your thought. Now, you didn't come up with that on your own. No. That being your first thought on both of those things, that's by design. That's called indoctrination. Now, let me ask you the second question. What could make America greater than a healthy, skilled, and educated populace of people? What could make us competitive with the rest of the world in the short and the long run? Anyway, God bless America. And I hope that everyone has an excellent day.
The big, beautiful bill. honestly, when you're on the outside looking in, I'm amazed because I cannot imagine voting for something that is going to destroy my life, especially if I'm depending on Medicaid, especially if I'm depending on food stamp to eat, not for my family, for myself, and maybe the community where I'm living. Maybe that's what we're depending on because we belong in the maybe in the lower middle class of America. So majority of the people who voted for these current administrations, majority come from the southern state of America. Those are majority the Maga voters, literally. And majority of them are farmers. Majority of them live in the rural areas. Majority of them are uneducated. So most probably they got information that was not correct. Most probably because their generation and generation of families they are the Republicans. So the younger ones and even the current, the older ones, because it's always in their family, they've always become voted the Republican way. They like, okay, so we're just gonna do what we usually do, voting Republican. Majority of them, that's how they've grown up. That's how they operate. But now, here's the situation. They have voted, the beautiful big bill has been voted, and the House passed it through, and now it's literally affecting the same people who voted for the current administration to come into power. The irony, karma is a bitch. In this video, you're hearing people say, you know what, the things that they expected to happen to other minorities or to other races, somehow it's, coming back to haunt them, coming back to bite them when they least expect it. And that's what they call karma. Karma is a bitch. When they say you want other people to suffer, God has a funny way of working. When you want bad things to happen to other people, most probably it will turn back and come and hurt you when you least expect it. And this is basically what is happening right now. So who are going to suffer the most? The people who are depending on the food stamp, the people who are depending on the Medicare or Medicaid, the people who are depending, on those public school, because the education fund it has been cut. The people who are enjoying right now in America are the rich. Yes, the rich, the millionaires, the billionaires, and of course the middle class who can afford, they can, tighten their seatbelt here and there so that they can make up a bit of money here and there so that they can afford something. Those are people who can somehow survive, the middle class. But the poor belong in the lower middle class or lower class, or the poor and the homeless. Those are the people who are going to suffer because they have no money. They're expecting to get help from the government, and now the government is cutting down on that, and of course is increasing, budget for the DOJ, for the military. So what's going to happen? Only time will tell. How is it going to affect communities, people individually? Only time will tell. But the reality is, we are going to see most people when they come online and complaining and say, oh, we have sick people here and somehow we cannot afford treatment, we can afford the bills because it's too expensive, we were on food stamp, now we are starving, we cannot afford to buy grocery food. You'll see people say, you know what, the education system, right now we're not learning anything, our kids are becoming uneducated. Or you see most parents trying to teach their kids at home, it has a repercussion that is going to be felt across America as time goes by. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know about your thoughts, and drop your comments, and please subscribe to my channel.